Hi, my name is Israel Zapp. I am the lead host of the Ambition podcast. My co-host Daniel Talavera is not here today, but you will get a conversation between him and I later, talking about a whole lot of issues up until he leaves to the military on April 5th. Remember, those episodes will be pre-recorded, but we will try our best to be as present as possible. Do me a favor to like, comment, subscribe, and share this, and run up the numbers, please. Also, we are still in COVID season here in California, so Jose, throw the white shot up there for me, please. How you guys doing? Excuse me, COVID.
What a time to cough. What a time to cough.
That wasn't even staged, man. Anyway, one more time, wide shot, 6 feet apart, so we're cool.
Is this 6 feet?
I hope so. I didn't measure it.
This?
We didn't measure it, but just
it looks 6 feet.
Okay. For the cameras, it's 6 feet. I mean, it is. Gavin Newsom, don't shut us down. Anyway, my guest, he is a returning guest. Please welcome Timothy Joel to the Ambition podcast, man.
Man, thanks for having me back, bro. It's when we record November, so it's been a minute, and that's the last time I saw you.
That's the last time that's the last time we've seen each other, and I got COVID after that, and you got COVID after that.
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
I'm glad you survived. How was your experience?
Man, my COVID experience, first of all, depressing because you're alone, and you see like the world that still exists and is happening, and you feel like so lonely. But my symptoms were very mild, thankfully. I just lost taste and smell.
Yeah.
But that's still like mentally. I would have to eat, but I would never be hungry because I couldn't taste anything.
You lost a lot of weight that day, bro. Come on.
COVID came through and got me skinny. No, but man, I know it's like a real thing, obviously, but bro, it was tough. It was really tough, mentally, and just like not being able to smell or taste anything. Like when you people talk about it, you're like, how bad can that really be? You know?
Yeah.
But bro, it's rough. It's rough. I don't know. I know you had it too. So what was your experience like?
Dude, okay, so here's the thing. So, and this is going to sound very terrible what I'm about to say right now. So, Wednesday, I was at church. I had no symptoms. Promise you, no symptoms. I was fine. Ask anybody. I was fine. I'm on a phone call Wednesday night on my way home, and I'm in my bed. I'm on the phone, and I'm talking to my friends from the Bay Area. I start feeling messed up. So I'm like, I'm not thinking anything about COVID because COVID don't exist in Stockton. that's a joke. It does, but apparently, it didn't exist at the time. All right, so
CV had no clue was about to hit him.
We're gonna bleep that part out, right? I'm just kidding. So Wednesday night comes around. I'm like, I'm feeling messed up. I don't know what's happening. I wake up and I don't wake up this late. I woke up at first I woke up at 6 a.m.
Oh man.
And I'm like hot sweats. I'm feeling feverish. I feel like I'm dying.
So you had really bad symptoms.
Dude, I was gone. I literally felt like I got ran over by a train. So then I'm like, I can't.
You have asthma too, right?
I used to have asthma.
So that was like another thing, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting it.
No, it's fine. Like I was messed up. Like I wasn't breathing right. I have a fever, chills, sweats. Bro. My stomach felt bad. I thought I was gonna vomit. So I wake up 6 a.m. and I call the Kaiser. They have that 24/7 hotline nurse person that I call. So I'm like, hey, I've got blah 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 blah, and they're like, from the sounds of it, you got COVID, but I'm gonna schedule an appointment with your doctor. So I call out of work, right? I go back to sleep. I knock out. I can't see the doctor, or not see the doctor. I can't do like a virtual call thing till like a day later. So I sleep. I kid you not. After I go to sleep after the phone with the nurse, I'm asleep the whole day. I wake up at 6 in the evening. I'm gone, and I don't eat anything that day at all. Like I have no appetite.
To the max.
Getting up out of my bed made me want to collapse.
Jeez, bro.
So next day comes around, call out of work again. The doctor says,
"Did you tell him your work that you thought you had COVID, or you just were like, I'm sick?"
Like I didn't know what I had. I was hoping it wasn't the worst. So I was like,
I know some jobs, even if you say like you have one symptom, automatic 2 weeks quarantine. Like no if, no ands, no buts. Like if you tell them you have a symptom, they're quarantining you, and you could be like, "Oh no, I tested negative." They're like, "No, 2 weeks, bye."
Yeah, no, that wasn't my job. My job is unless you're dead, you come in to work.
Yeah.
Or you have a doctor's note. So that's the truth.
Jeez. We won't mention that organization.
We won't because they have a godly reputation. But the point
Oh, wow.
So
that's like the biggest hint you could ever get. Anyways.
But anyways, what
a hint. I hope Jose bleeps that out too.
We're gonna give him a lot of work on this podcast, man. So
no, I get it though. Like, I've heard two sides of it. Like, if you tell them you have a symptom, I think Dutch Bros is like that.
Yeah.
If you tell them you have a symptom, then they're like 2 weeks gone, bye. Because I feel like they have enough workers or whatever. They don't care, or they do care a lot. And then same with your experience, like. Even if you have all the symptoms, come into work, we don't care.
Unless you're positive.
Yeah. Unless you have that positive.
Because, like, so I call it again, like, because I'm just regurgitating. It's bad. So stomach problems, all the stuff.
Were you having issues breathing at that point?
I wasn't, like, breathing. It was more like.
You could feel it, though.
Yeah, and I couldn't. If I got out of bed, I was like.
Jeez, bro.
So, literally. So,
that's intense.
I call one of my boys and I'm like, dude, I can't taste my food. I can smell, but I can't taste. They're like, you got COVID. And I'm like, I rebuke in the name because if I got COVID, then everybody got COVID and I'm scared.
Yeah, and you don't want to like, that feeling of like, oh man, I'm the one who got people sick.
Yeah, well, I experienced that on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I get tested. It wasn't a bad experience to get tested. It was
when I got tested, I felt like I had lost 10 IQ points. I felt like any creative thing I had in my mind was gone. Dude, I don't know if the dude who did mine wasn't gentle or whatever, but man, it really hurt. Like I heard people saying like, "Oh, I've heard like both like it's not that bad or it's whatever."
Mm.
And dude, it was bad for me. Like I remember when I had to like brace myself. And once he was done, I felt like I had just gotten a fight. Like I like bent over. I was like my nose, and then like your eyes are watering because it's your nose, and then like I'm like, and the dude was like, "Are you crying?" Like, no, I'm not crying, bro. No, you legit like took a core memory from my mind right now. Like, what are you talking about? My crying?
I see my brain stem.
Yeah, bro. Like, have you seen the movie? What's that Disney movie with like the core memories? It's like an animated movie. I don't know what it is, but they like he straight up took a core memory from my mind, bro. Anyways, go ahead. Your testing experience wasn't as bad.
No, it really wasn't as bad. And I'm like, I mean, whenever I get like a flu shot or if I get anything, like it's never bad for me. Like whenever my mom would take a shot, she'd always be like, son, hold my arm and stuff,
Wow.
Me, I'm like, Mom, come on. I'm like 8 and I can handle it. Like things like that, right? So literally go back to sleep right after that. My appetite, I'm eating like half a meal a day, not even a full meal, half a meal a day. Bro. I get my results. Okay, as soon as I get my results, I send everybody in the group chat. I post
that dreadful text, like I tested positive.
Yeah, screenshot everything, and they're like, "Dang, you're screwed." And I'm
not only are you
thanks.
Screwed, we're screwed because we were just with you.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is actually I can't get into that on camera, but
no, that's fine. It's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, like all in all, there were dramatic events that flowed from that moment, but the best thing is, though, I'm alive.
Yeah, you're alive. We're alive.
We survived, But that's the thing that what I really want to draw attention to the most, actually, the fact that we're able to say that we're survived, is one thing that I think, now to take it deep, is I think as human beings in 2021, we just survived an election. And
a crazy election.
A crazy election that wasn't over literally until January 20th?
Yeah.
Is that
I know even on the local level too, like Stockton and Modesto barely a couple weeks ago, I think, declared their mayor races done. So that's leaking over. Yeah, I think so. I think that's true. I'm pretty sure Modesto that's happened too.
I thought that was like already done.
No, I think it carried over into the new year for sure. For Modesto at least.
Dang.
I know for sure for Modesto. Like it took them that long to calculate
they not
everything.
Like the new mayor or something?
No, I just think because of all the there were a lot more mail-in ballots because people wanted to stay home, which is understandable. But anyways, go ahead.
Think what we're going from like the COVID, not as comical but comical enough, to the deep thought. We're learning how to navigate. We're learning how to navigate our lives in the middle of cancel culture.
Yeah.
That's like a big topic for me right now. I was watching an episode, and the time that we're having this conversation, they're attempting, or they have attempted, I don't even know, to cancel Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't even know what they're canceling him for. Apparently, there's racist imagery in his books.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story. I just know that that's what's happening.
That's happening. They're canceling different people for different things, and first of all, I never watched The View, but for whatever reason, the video of them talking about Dr. Seuss popped up on my feed, and I'm like, all right, whatever, click. So I clicked on it.
Was this on Instagram or YouTube?
YouTube. So then
I love YouTube.
YouTube gives you everything you don't need to watch.
Do you have premium, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay, now we can really talk. Because I feel like you're not a real YouTube connoisseur unless you have YouTube premium. Like, that's my first, like, I'll say I love YouTube, and so everyone's like, yeah, I love YouTube. But then the real question is, do you have premium? And if they say that, then we're bros for life.
If you're not willing to pay the extra, $15 a month to be able to turn off your phone and still have it playing in the background,
it's worth it. No ads. Man. And no ads.
I can't go back to that, man. Like,
have you ever like accidentally like signed out and you click and there's an ad and you're just like, oh, what's happening?
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Skip.
I need to sign in.
Bad memory.
Yeah, bro. I have to have YouTube Premium. Anyways.
No, I was scrolling through and I clicked the video and this lady was like, I hate calling it cancel culture. It's accountability culture. And I'm like, you want to be kept accountable for something you said at 8, 10, 15 years old?
Yeah.
You know, like, here's my beef with it, okay? And I want to preface this for a couple things. One, as a Christian person, as somebody who follows Jesus, I should not be surprised when the world is acting like the world, okay? Non-Jesus following, God worshiping, Bible believing people, they are going to do things that are anti-God.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. One thing that I've realized is that it should be common for non-church people to gossip, to spread hate, to spread fear, to not be virtuous and not be true.
Yeah.
Okay. It should be common for that. So I get it. And I'm not saying all non-Jesus following people are bad. That's not what I'm saying. I think I've met most of my friends are not in the church, and they're some of the kindest people that I'll ever encounter.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of me saying that you have to be inhumane if you're not a Jesus follower. What I am saying is I'm not shocked when the world acts like the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number one. Number two, any views that are going to be portrayed from this segment on do not reflect any church.
This was the segment to say it.
Do not reflect any church organization that we may be a part of during the time of this podcast. Ready, set, go. Like the voice. It was cool. Hey,
Yeah.
Alexa, play.
You should just have Alexa start reading that.
I don't like it when it enters into the church.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to borrow a quote from this individual. I won't name drop them on this podcast for the sake of, heaven forbid, I misquote it in a way that they did not intend. But I'm not going to put today's standards on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's the thing. We did not have founding fathers of this nation who were perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They were humans. Okay. Owning slaves is wrong yesterday just like it's wrong today. All right. I would advocate for, freeing people being free, and all these different things. But we have America and we have a constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And in that constitution, and because of those founding fathers, no matter how imperfect they were, they wrote and they dotted up paperwork and they created a country that we did not have to stay in the past.
Yeah.
But within those documents, within that founding, they gave the people the right to create a better and brighter future.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, when I'm looking at people canceling Dr. Seuss, and you're trying to put today's standards on Dr. Seuss of 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, whenever those books came out.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It's a joke to me. Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as I possibly can. Why are we choosing to live in the past instead of trying to create a better, brighter future?
Yeah.
And why are we trying to delete the past? And when I was taking a typing test for the state, I realized it takes me a lot longer to create more words when I'm trying to delete all the mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
Instead, I could be like, okay, I messed up a word there. Let me just keep typing. It went from 35 words a minute to 44 words a minute because I was able to just focus on creating new words. Same thing is happening, carrying on from the world into the church. There's a recent video that surfaced on Instagram where this, I don't know if you want to call it an apostolic celebrity person, somebody who's known within our denominational world.
I guess that's a fair thing to say.
Probably, popular figure.
That's better.
She made a video talking about you can't cancel people for what they've done wrong. You have to love them to Christ, and she made a reference of you have to, you can't cancel sexual abusers or racist people or this or that or this. It was she took the video down. Okay,
yeah, like kind of controversial.
Yeah, just a little bit when you mention sexual abusers, because first of all, I have most of my friends, they've been victims of that. They've experienced it firsthand. So my biggest thing is because from that video, which I found out created a whole
I could only imagine how, because people in the comments, I'm sure, were going off and not saying the nicest things. But granted, what this person said isn't the right thing to say for sure.
It wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like having the right intentions, maybe.
Well, if you're recording yourself, I have to believe you're gonna watch it back to make sure everything sounds right, it looks good. So they had an opportunity to be like, should I post? Like, should I post this?
It wasn't even a full post. It was an Instagram reel.
Oh, it was a reel. Okay. So still though,
you're saying 15 seconds.
You couldn't watch that. But anyways,
yeah.
Because I've had to deal with that too. Like, not only like with anything political or just like in general. Like, if I post this, am I gonna upset anyone?
Yeah.
And I really don't want my Instagram to be like that. In the past, I've done stuff on purpose. Like, I know I'm gonna get reaction out of some people by posting this.
Right.
And especially during like an election year, I feel like it's left and right. Not left and right as in like the left and the right, but people are doing that everywhere. Like, they're posting stuff just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And like, I would never, like, I try to stay away from it just because I don't want to be that guy, that person that posts something and people are like, why? Like, this is upsetting,
No, it was, see, the thing about me, as far as social media goes, I've kind of chosen to like stay away from it as much as possible, posting, sensitive topics as much as I can. The thing is like, nowadays we have a problem to where we have a culture that is getting sensitive over every little thing.
Oh yeah.
All right. I remember it was a couple years ago, and I keep going back to this in every argument against council culture or what the View, one member of the View says accountability culture, which is how are you going to look at a 17, 18-year-old who's about to accept a scholarship to an amazing school and say, well, you tweeted these derogatory remarks when you're 15 and you're going to come after him, and then now he loses a scholarship. How are you going to look at a comedian like Kevin Hart for derogatory comments, which were funny to a major crowd?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were right. I'm saying those are statements that he made to a broader audience that accepted it at the time.
Agreed with
15 years ago. And then you'd be like, okay, well, you have to pay for your sins now, 15 years later.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres, afternoon talk show host, one of the kindest people you'll ever meet, is now being canceled because she wasn't the nicest person to some people.
Yeah.
From what I heard of the story.
Yeah.
So it's like, now we're going to bring it into the church culture where you have somebody who has a video. First off, I mean, you're going to create a video talking about sensitive topics, number one. Number two, you're going to do an Instagram reel about it. Like, you're already creating a video that you can't have a conversation about. Now you're going to do 15 seconds to create a blanket statement.
Yeah.
Yes, that was stupid. My personal opinion, that's stupid. It's the Ambition podcast. I could say it's stupid. Okay. But for the amount of backlash, all right, that brings a question to me, because then they started reaching into her past.
To be fair, reels can be up to 30 seconds. So maybe this person used up to 30 seconds.
Possibly. Still, is 30 seconds really enough to talk about that?
That's hard to, like, not only make a statement like that, but to, if in that person's eyes, to defend it in 30 seconds. Like, that's insane.
You shouldn't have done a video for 30 seconds to talk about.
Should have brought that one to IGTV.
Yeah.
Should have brought that one to IGTV.
Wide shot. Should have brought that to the Ambition podcast. Yeah. No, I mean, but that brings the question to me, though. So in the comments I didn't read all of them because they were atrocious.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
They were atrocious, but
which is why they deleted it.
They were reaching into her family's history.
Oh gosh.
Talking about how you're related to such and such and this and that. So the thing that I bring the question of is, should a Christian dive into another Christian's history and expose it for the whole world to see? Like, is there... Do I have grounds to go into your history and go expose you?
Yeah, I think that's like a loaded question for sure, because
it is, yeah.
Because I feel like there could be different levels. Like, if you knew something about me, I feel like you would come to me like straight up, like, I heard this or I know this. What are you going to do about it, type of thing. Right. Not like, and you're not going to, like, because we're boys, obviously not going to, like, blast me on Instagram, which is, I'm sure they were doing.
Of course not.
I'm sure what they were doing on their on that person's comment section. And I feel like it just goes down to, like, your level of relationship with that person.
Yeah.
Like, either you are close to them and you could not call them out, but be like, hey, like, and hold them accountable, but maybe more in a private setting. Or
I think that's a little bit wiser. But
yeah, or like seek someone out that is close to that person and be like, hey, I saw this on the internet. Because nowadays, everything is on the internet.
And everything on the internet is apparently true.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Everything's on the internet. Everything's true. Like, there's no such thing as Photoshop. Like, you can never, fake anything these days.
No.
But you know what I mean? It's all about, I feel like, taking things offline. As much as our life is online, I feel like a lot of conversations need to happen offline. And which is, it's hard because, like, we're online 24/7. Like,
yeah.
When I took a break from Instagram, the first couple of days were the hardest, because it's like, that's like my snap reaction when I pick up my phone. Like, oh, Instagram, oh, Twitter, oh, whatever, Facebook.
Right.
And I just feel like some of those things, they just need to happen offline, because it's always publicized. It's always like, look at this person, they did this wrong. Let's all gang up on this person.
And that's the problem now, because I was actually on a phone conversation before I got to the church, and I was talking to my friend, and I'm like, it's sad when I can look at somebody who I follow, and I look at you and I say, you're a Republican.
Yeah.
But I can't see that you're a Christian. Or that I see that you're a Democrat, but I can't see that you're a Christian. It's like, Jesus says you shall know them by your fruits. Okay? If your fruit is more about the propaganda that you're spreading rather than the person that you're following, you've got an issue. Because the thing for me that I look at, it's like, okay, I understand that we are in an expose culture. We're in a culture that says, I want to talk about all the things that hurt me as a kid, which I want you to be transparent. I want you to be honest about your story. But if you're reaching, and this is, obviously it's a case-by-case scenario, all right?
Yeah, like, it's not blanket.
This is not a blanket statement, what I'm about to say, so, if cancel culture comes after me, I want you to, by the way. But I welcome it, all right, please, all right? Because I have nothing to hide. But what... And this is what I had a conversation with one of my friends about. What benefit do you guys get, everybody attacking this human being right here, do you guys get by saying one of her family members is a minister and is
doing whatever.
Like, why are you blasting it on social media in her comment section? Doesn't it make more sense that if you have a massive concern, call the church office and call the pastor, be like, hey, homie's a minister and he's A, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. No, I get that. And one of my last tweets like I posted was about like people like with their political party. Like people will share like political hot take after political hot take, but they'll never share an Instagram video or a reel of their church, which is like mind blowing to me. Like I saw more posts, especially during the election, about everything that was going on, and like I did not see anything uplifting. Like it was like, and that was part of the reason like I took a break, because it's like it like gets you down. Like you see just so much like divide, and like I see you sharing all your political things, but like what do you like? You never talk about Jesus. Like the same thing, you see a lot of people's political party, which is fine, whatever you want to support is up to you, but I don't see you supporting Jesus in any of it.
My biggest beef is someone attacking their brother or their sister because they're on the opposite aisle.
Yeah.
Which it's like, I literally, and oh my God, I'm at the point right now where I'm going to unfollow everybody. Okay? Because sadly, most of the people that I follow are involved in this on this side of the conversation, which is if you supported so-and-so, we're not friends.
We can't be friends.
Or if you vote this way, or if you go to this denomination, or if you're a part of this group of people, or if you talk this way, or if you think this way, we're in a problem now. I'm about to get revved up right now. We're in a problem now where I'm telling you how to think.
Yeah.
You can't think differently than me, because if you think differently, then you're wrong. You're a bigot. You're a racist. You're this. You're that.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're not friends anymore.
There's no middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's just. By the way, thanks for everybody who kept their phones off silent. By the way, we got the Mac Mini with the M1 chip.
Jose goes M1.
Buy it now for all your tech needs.
Yeah.
Sponsored by no one. Anyway, but we're telling each other how to think. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground, because if you're in the middle ground, you're going to get shot by both sides. But if you're on that side and you don't think like I do,
then we're not friends, and we will never be friends.
And I'm blasting all your business everywhere. There's no honor anymore. So, in the name of concluding and wrapping up this podcast, because we're on a time crunch.
I know.
All right. This is the most
I feel like Jose set
thing.
this up on purpose, because last time we went so long. He's like,
Jose said, "This is the plan."
Yeah.
All right. I guess to conclude this conversation.
I'll come back.
Please do. All right. Before I move to Texas. Anyway, ambition going to Texas.
Whoa, he said that.
I said it. It's official, like a referee with a whistle. Really,
he really said it.
We weren't allowed to say it.
No, I mean, it's up to you. It's your business.
Texas.
I'm gonna tell you how to think and what to say. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, goodbye, Gavin Newsom, and your stupid rules.
Oh, that's why you're going to Texas, because he just lifted all those mandates. That's what I see.
Hey, look it, man. It's not like we don't already wear masks in the church.
Oh, God.
Anyway, the point is, look it. I want, for like the last maybe 5-7 minutes, I want to talk about. You see, cancel culture is so toxic in the church and outside of church. How can we
come out of it?
I don't even want to say come out of it, because the thing is, we're never going to come out of it at this point.
Yeah.
And sure. I'm not trying to be, a pessimist. And it's not that I'm not being a faithist.
That's just the reality.
The reality is the Bible says, in the last days, the Apostle Paul writes, in the last days, there are going to be truce breakers, there are going to be gossipers, there are going to be all these different things. There are going to be people who hate each other, great falling away in the church, all these crazy things. But how do we keep our souls healthy?
Yeah. That's a big... It's hard. I think like the number one thing is just getting off social media, like in general. And it stinks though, because like you get off and then you feel like you're missing out.
FOMO, literally.
And people will tell you, did you see this and this? Like that video we talked about earlier probably happened when I was off social media. That's why I didn't see it.
Literally happened last week.
Oh, thanks. Swear. So I was on it then. I was just lost. No, but so I feel like a huge thing that could happen is like I said, just getting offline and having some of those conversations, not for the world to see, because and you know what? There is a flip to that though, because I've seen people come out against like sexual abusers and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then like at that point their hand is forced. Like I have to share it with my Instagram. I have to, because nothing happened when I went to them, when I went to the authorities or whatever the case is. So I know in some cases like you have to.
Yeah.
I won't say blast them, but like let it be known, you know, because it is hard and there's like 1,001 scenarios that could happen with it all. But I think a huge thing is just taking it off the internet, which is, it's a huge ask. And not even taking it off the internet. Sometimes you just need to remove yourself and just find time to do what makes you happy. And that could be whatever, family time, literally anything that makes you happy. And just, I think it's cleansing not only for your mind, but your spirit too. Just to have that time where it's like, all right, God, I'm taking a break from socials and I'm just going to use this time to get closer to you. And I feel like that's a huge thing that not just I want to do or I should do. I feel like a lot of us should take time away whenever we feel like we should.
I feel like that makes the most sense because
you're right. You said that it will never go away. Like in the optimist in me hopes to believe that it will. But as long as people are going to do dumb things, people are going to react this way.
Yeah.
And not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying people aren't perfect. So some things are going to happen where it's just like, it's going to keep happening, like you said.
It's going to keep happening. I remember this one speaker who was a mentor in my life and, really, he was strong when I was revamping in my walk with God. And he said this. You don't have to control you can't always control your season, but you can always control your spirit. And the thing is like, when it comes to talking about sexual abuse in the church, which is a heavy topic that we don't have enough time to dive into in this episode, first off, I don't want to let anybody think that we're anti-talk, don't talk about your stuff. Please talk about it.
Yeah.
Please be open about it. All right. What the thing that I want to narrow down on is not from the victim perspective, but from this SJW, social justice warrior, Twitter warrior perspective of I have to expose everything. At this point in my life, I've come to and I'm only 22, so I don't have all the answers. So for everybody who's older watching this, maybe come and correct me right now. But I think if you're spending your whole life exposing everyone else's stuff,
what are you doing?
What goes around comes around.
Yeah. The
oldest law, the Bible, the Apostle Paul writes this, it's a law that's old as God himself, is the law that says you reap what you sow. When you're sowing, I'm going to expose you, I'm going to expose you, going to expose you, going to expose you, you're going to be exposed. Everyone's going to know your business one day. TMZ is going to hit your front door one day. And the fact of the matter is, I think we all have stuff that we're ashamed of.
100%.
We all have stuff that, and I'm not saying don't be held accountable. I think accountability shouldn't be questioned. You should not be afraid to be held accountable. But you shouldn't be canceled for the mistakes you made at 15. You shouldn't be canceled when you're 40, 50, and you did something stupid at 20.
Yeah.
Okay? If you were held accountable for it, I don't see the need to expose someone. And to promote a healthy culture, why don't you do everyone a favor and just focus on yourself, man? We have so many people running in and everyone else's lane except their own.
Yeah.
Tweeting about everybody else. Instagramming about everybody else. Dude, go eat a sandwich. Oh my God.
Go eat a sandwich.
Go make a taco, man.
What?
Sit down.
Great advice.
Am I right? So.
Not go read your word. Not go pray. Go eat a sandwich. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, even Jesus ate.
That's facts.
Jesus was the word and the bread of life, and he ate bread, Man, we got to continue this conversation. This is part 1. So that way, if there is anything unsaid, we'll say it in part 2. So
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man, on this spontaneous
Love you guys.
conversation. We'll try to plan it out next time.
Yeah, we didn't talk about how last minute this was.
Literally 5 minutes before you get here. Hey, you want to get mic'd up?
I'm like, sure.
Sure, why not?
We're going to talk about some light, airy subject. Hey, cancel culture. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our
Instagram is doing good, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
Instagram's doing great.
I'm just kidding.
Gotta get blocked right now.
Yeah.
All right. This is the Ambition Podcast with Israel Zapp. Please rate, review, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Share this podcast with all of your friends, even the people you don't like, because they probably will like you or dislike you a little less after this. So, yeah, Instagram's down below. We love you. Thank you. Merch drop hopefully soon. And
another one?
Maybe.
Texas edition.
I'll see y'all in Texas, Warriors. Love you guys. Peace out.